Hey, what is up, guys? Blunt Cuts here. This is a Watcher Realms video. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. I really appreciate it. I have got Lord Phineas up on the screen right here. He is going to be the Thanksgiving / Black Friday banner hero. He'll have a 15x rate up alongside Magda, and I'm really excited about him. I think that he's going to be really, really good. The question really is, where is he going to be good? A couple days ago, I put out a video where I broke down his skills and awakenings, and I was postulating whether or not he might be a good hero in GvG. Previously, I didn't think that was the case, largely because his basic attack only has a 1-tile range, and that is a big issue. There's so many single tile range fighters that are in this game. They continue to put them out. I don't know why they continue to do it, but after doing some testing, when I was making that video, I did find out a couple things that I did think that were relevant. One, his ultimate here. He is able to hit air units during the ultimate, which is a big, big difference. Kind of similar to Valkyria in that way. Now, he's a single target damage dealer, whereas Valkyria is a AoE damage dealer, so that is a big difference between the two. But functionally, using the ultimate will allow him to hit air units, which is similar to Valk. And then the other thing that I did find out is that he will activate this ultimate when units get into the ultimate range, meaning that as long as he has a full rage bar, he will activate it when there is a unit within 3 tiles in front of him. He doesn't have to wait for when they are in his basic attack range, which again is only 1 tile. So these two things made me kind of wonder if maybe he did have some GvG potential. So in this video, I am going to take a look at 2 different things. One, I'm going to check out his BP. We're going to try to maximize his BP, get an idea of how he stacks up to some of the better affiliation units in the game, because obviously one way that he can impact GvG is if he does have high battle power and can be affiliated to your demon soldiers. The other way is whether or not he can be a solid defense hero. And that is the thing that I think is much more in question. So thankfully, Sebastian Canes was able to set up a GvG defense with him in it. Now, unfortunately, it is on the Season 5 Central Keep map, so it's not going to be incredibly relevant to Season 6, but we work with what we got, right? Beggars can't be choosers. So I am going to, after I talk about the BP, I am going to go and do some attacks against that defense. I'm going to try a couple different strategies. We're going to look at his damage output. We're going to see whether or not I am able to overcome him in a basically a bottom lane Central Keep defense from last season. Let's get to it. All right, guys, I did fiddle around with his gear a bit, and that is about as good as it's going to get for right now. Maybe there's some more I could do to min-max this, but this is where he sits at the moment. He's got about 450 attack speed, about 28,000 attack, and 340% crit damage. So solid gear. He is at 101,869 battle power. This is my A0 Phineas. I will show you what he looks like at A5 as well in a second. But what we really want to do is compare him to a Uridan, right? Because Uridan is kind of the gold standard as far as affiliation units are concerned. So I do have this Uridan in a Wailing Skull, which is the same as what I have on Phineas here as well. So we can see Wailing Skull on Phineas, Wailing Skull on the Uridan here. The Uridan is A0. As you can see, he's right above my head on the left-hand side. And I am going to switch this gear onto Uridan so we can get kind of a relative idea of how the BP on Phineas does compare. Both of these guys are fully skilled out. So as you can see, 111,513 on Uridan in the exact same gear. That means there's about a 10,000 BP difference. Uridan is getting about 10% more battle power from the exact same set of gear, the same artifact. So that is, that's not nothing. That is not nothing at the end of the day. It means that Phineas is good as far as BP is concerned, but he's not crazy good relative to others. I think he's more on par with like a Valkyria or something like that would be the comp I would make. And to kind of prove that point, I'm going to swap this gear onto a Phineas so we can an A5 Phineas, excuse me, so that we can get an idea of what his max BP could potentially look like. Now, again, I think on global, if you really sat down and you've really like manicured your gear storage and you know exactly which pieces are going to give you the most BP. I think that there's probably still some meat on the bone here as far as what you can get out of this. But this is pretty solid. And at A5, he is at 113,732 battle power. That is solid. It's not great though. A Uridan, an A5 Uridan. I don't have one on my account right now. I guess, well, I'm not going to go through actually ranking it up, but I think an A5 Uridan is going to be around 125k battle power, typically 125 to 130k battle power. So this guy's missing about somewhere between like 10 and 15,000 battle power off of an A5 Uridan. You know, it's good. It's not amazing. This is lower BP on an A5 unit than I have on my account. I have an A5 Hex on my account that gets to about 115,000 battle power. I can get my A0 Uridan on global to about 115,000 battle power as well. So it's good, not great, is what I would say. Let's go take a look at him as a defender. All right, guys, so I am going to do a few attacks against this. Again, thank you to Sebastian Canes for putting this defense together. Again, not perfect because these maps are not really relevant anymore, but we're at least going to be able to see him in action here. So that's going to give us an idea of what he might be capable of. I don't think this is really an ideal setup for him, in truth, but it is what it is. And, you know, like I said before, beggars can't be choosers. So first thing we are going to do is send Maw against him with the Fool in there for heals. That is the plan here. So let's get in there. Let's see how long it takes this team to take out Maw as well as the Fool. For reference, the Maw is affiliated to I believe, 109,000 battle power Ingrid, and the Fool, I'm not sure what the affiliation is in the Fool, honestly, but that really doesn't matter all that much if I'm being completely forthright. So we're going to drop in the Fool here at 10 cost. We'll drop in the Maw when the Fool does get down into the corner and we get back up to 9 cost. So slow it down at 8. We'll just click on up to 9 here before we drop in our Maw. We're going to see how long it takes them to burst this guy down. I'm not going to drop a second Fool because the idea here is really to just see how long it takes. I just don't want him dying immediately. You can see that as soon as Phineas did use his ultimate, there's a massive hit to Maw. Massive, massive hit. And here's the problem, though. Here's the problem. Maw's at maybe, like 40% health right now. Phineas isn't attacking anymore because he only has a 1-tile range. And this is going to be an issue for him, especially with if he can't burst a target down during his ultimate. It is going to be a big, big problem here. And so, as you can see, they did finish him off, but unfortunately, Phineas did kind of sit out the second half of Maw's health bar. So let's take a look at the damage. We can get an idea of exactly how much he contributed there. So we can see Pelagios, 1.8 million, Praetus, 6.3 million as the top damage dealer. One ultimate was 5.1 million from Phineas, though. So that is a massive amount of damage for 20 seconds. You gotta love that. It's going to take out most units in the game. Most units in the game, plus being able to move on to another unit during that 20 seconds very easily. So I think that is something. I wish I had a Pharaoh Guard to send against him so we get an idea about magic resist and things like that. But unfortunately, because I'm on the test server, I really just don't have the ability to do that. They don't give us any of the seasonal exclusive Demon Soldiers, so I don't have the Pharaoh Guard on my account here, so I can't test him out. But you know, Maw has this massive health pool. I think he's got something like 6.7 million HP. We can go take a look before we move on to the next test. Let's go see exactly what Maw's stats were in this comp here. So let's see. Maw. Let's see it, buddy. Go to the details here, and I'll move myself over so you guys can see. So, Maw was at about 17,542 magic resist. He also had about 6.5 million HP. So, it's very, very solid Maw. The affiliation is to an A5 Ingrid that, again, is at about 110,000 battle power. So you all know about the affiliation bonus that Destin did release about a month ago, where Lords are providing more or significantly more battle power than what you might expect. So this is probably the equivalent of having like 120 to 125k battle power standard unit affiliated to a Demon Soldier. So, you know, very, very high-end Maw at the end of the day, but I don't know. It's kind of impressive. Kind of impressive if you think about it, because in that one ultimate, he did almost as much damage as Praetus did. Very solid. When his ultimate was active, he was the highest DPS, damage per second, I would say. All right, let's see how this defense handles a pretty standard Maw attack. So what we're going to do is wait till 10 cost. I will drop in the Fool. let him path on forward. Once we get back up to 9 cost, I'll drop in Maw. I'll wait until we get back up to 5 cost, drop in a second Fool based on how we saw this team chew through Maw's health previously. And then we're going to follow up with Axolotls consecutively at 6 cost, followed up. Hopefully that's going to be enough to take down Brokir. Then we should be able to drop in double Lightning Guards, Dogs, something like that. We'll see where we're at based on how the match goes. Let's get in there, see if we can't make it happen. All right, so wait until 10 cost. Drop in the Fool. There we go. Let's wait until we get up to 9. I'll slow it down when we get into the 8s. There we go. And we're here and we'll click up to 9 so we can keep the Fool as far away as possible here. And like I said, I'm just going to wait until 5 costs, and then I will drop in another Fool. The reason being that Lily is there. She is going to get her Thorny Protection is going to get procced as soon as Maw does his big like tank killer thing here. So we'll drop in a... No, we don't really need to... Well, yeah, why not? Let's just drop it in here. Drop in a second Fool, and we'll see if we can't keep him alive. Get up to 6, we'll drop in some Axolotls. Go. That should trigger the Thorny Protection, and then we can start working through his other life-saving mechanics. So, see that Pelagios Whirlwind did work. We can see we popped the Unyielding there. Let's drop in a second set of Axolotls here. See if we can't chew through the remainder here. We should get another tank. Well, there we go. He's down. I see. We're not even going to need to bring in anything. You can see the Axolotls are just going through. Now, one thing I will say is I did take a look at the gear that Sebastian Canes does have on this this unit. I will show you at the end of this testing exactly what gear is on the Phineas, but it's good gear. It's not like the best gear in the game, but it is good gear, and it is an A5 Phineas that we are going against right now, so something to keep in mind. Let's take a look at the stats and see how he did damage-wise. And you can see he's just ultimate limited, I think, is really the big problem here. He only attacks during his ultimate, and so this kind of defense is not going to be ideal for him. I think he would do better in a comp where he could be placed as kind of like an in-between unit in a stack of 3, like a tank, Phineas, then like a long-range damage dealer like an Ardea or a Valkyra or something like that, so that he can deal with units that are going to be going past the tank in a swarm kind of thing. But he's going to need somebody else to support him. He needs heavy AoE to really keep him going. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of rough. It's kind of rough at the end of the day. I don't know that this is going to work long term. I think if anything, if not in a stack like that, maybe what he needs is to actually be set back even further so that he won't trigger on units that are coming through are going to be sitting in front of the tank. He needs to wait until stuff comes past the tank so that he then triggers his ultimate and acts as kind of like a stopgap or break glass in case of emergency kind of unit who will pop his ultimate, do a lot of quick damage against kind of like a no shit button or something like that. So in any case, guys, I'm going to come back. I'm going to try a swarm attack against this. Let's see if he does any better against that. All right, let's see if this defense can stand up to a swarm. So we are going to send some Necros out. Then one thing I do want to note here, my Necros are only level 3. Everything else is level 5, but Necros are only level 3. I don't know why, but Moonton did not deign to give me the same number of shards on Necros as they do on everything else. It's kind of like the actual game, right? I know a lot of people are struggling to get that level 5 Necro rate up. So yeah, it is diminishing because level 5 for Necros is a pretty big one. It does really boost the durability of the summons. So that is something to keep in mind. What we're going to do here is, because I don't have the access to the Farraguard like I was saying before, in lieu of that, I have brought in a Knight of Destruction. I am going to wait till 10 costs. I'm going to drop in the Knight of Destruction right in front of the spawn point. He's going to path forward. He's going to be a sacrificial lamb. Then at 10 cost, I will drop in a Fool, again, on the tile right in front of the spawn point. Wait until the Fool is in the bottom right-hand corner. Then I'm going to drop in the second Knight of Destruction. We will then wait till 10 costs, drop in a Shaman on the tile right in front of the spawn point. At 10 costs, we'll drop in double Necros, followed again by another Shaman at 3 costs, and then we'll follow up with Dogs, probably at 5 costs, but we'll have to play it by ear and work around ultimates, Pelagios' ultimate in particular. But let's see. how Phineas does here. I think he's going to be baitable, and that's the strategy I'm kind of going for here. So let's see if that kind of comes to fruition. All right, so I'm going to wait till 10 cost. I'm going to drop in the Night of Destruction. I'm dropping him here because I want him to path forward, and I want there to be as much time as possible in between when the ultimates finish initially and when our units that are going to be sitting there kind of finally arrive, the Night of Destruction and the Fool. So we'll get the second Night of Destruction kind of set up over here. I see him turn. I'm going to drop in my Knight, and then we're just waiting for 10 cost. I'm going to drop in a Shaman over here on the tile right in front of the spawn point. Let's see how this goes. You can see Night of Destruction is surviving. There goes the Shaman. And I'll slow it down now that we're in the 9s. And we can start clicking. And I'll just click up to 10 so I can drop in double Necros here. There's 1 and 2. 2x speed. We'll drop in a second Shaman on the frontmost tile. So we can get double heals in there. And see how they're doing. Night of Destruction is still alive at this point. He kind of did what we needed him to do. And we are going to, you can see Phineas is about to get his ultimate back up. The Pelagios and the Praetus ultimates are down right now. See, what kind of further hampers Phineas is that you can see all of them just busted through right now. All of them just busted through. And Phineas is not doing enough damage because he's single target to stop them. And so they all just ran in. What really hampers him, what I was saying before, is that because he can't get the range in front of the tank, he can't continue to generate rage with his basic attack, and that really kills his ability to kind of cycle back to his ultimate. That's a big problem. That is a big problem, and one that I think is going to really make it hard for him to function in any kind of way where you're depending on him to provide steady damage to units that are sitting in front of. Yeah, it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough. I just don't know if it's gonna work. Let's take a look and see damage breakdown here. I mean, he got 2 ultimates off. He still did half as much damage as Praetus, despite the fact that he was sitting there not being able to hit it all. So, I mean, the damage is there. It's really just the fact that he no longer has that range. I don't know why. Moonton, if you're watching this, if you could revert this guy would be amazing. Everybody would want him. I don't know why you want to kill the viability of your heroes. It just really doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Valderon's able to do this shit, but Phineas can't, I guess because he's not an ancient hero, but I don't love that. I don't love it. I don't know that he's going to be great as a defender. He's going to be great in a lot of other areas in the game, as I'm going to show him my damage testing tomorrow, but I don't really love this. He needs to be able to hit units in order to regenerate rage, cycle back to his ultimate quicker so that he can go and continue putting out that beastly burst damage that he does during the ultimate. Well, there you have it, guys. I will put up Sebastian Kane's Phineas up on the screen here so you can see what kind of gear he was rocking. It was pretty solid at the end of the day. It's not, again, it's not the most amazing gear, and there's a lot of other factors at play here. I don't know exactly what Sebastian's, what his Pantheon looks like. Like, there's some stuff missing here. It's not going to be exactly like a one-to-one comparison as it would be on Global, but this is an A5 Phineas, which is probably not going to be something that a lot of folks do have. So, you know, I don't know. It's not quite apples and oranges, I don't think, but it's also not going to be a perfect translation. But I don't think there's anything on Global that's going to significantly change the outcome that we saw here. Now, this doesn't mean that there's not a comp in the new maps where he might be really effective. I don't know that. I'm not experienced enough in the new maps to really make a determination like that one way or the other. But the early returns that we're seeing right here are not fantastic. So, you know, I'm exploring this just like you guys. I'm trying to give you the best advice I can. I think as of right now, what I'm seeing is that probably not going to be a great defender, but you never know. Maybe if you can leverage in, like, say, like Twin Fiend or something like that, maybe all of a sudden he becomes really good. I don't know that there's a Twin Fiend or a Solkadin's comp that is going to be really effective, but in any case, guys, I do hope this was helpful to you. Please do like and subscribe if you did enjoy this video. I will catch you all next time.